question. It's 2 minutes long. You're gonna recognize, I predict. I think you're gonna recognize and hear.
Joy. This is sadness.
Oh,
Hold on one second.
you recognize?
Oh, I've seen this.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. If you recognize, don't say a word. And I know, I predict you will recognize this.
I've never heard of this one.
You haven't? Oh, you
I
best stay with her. Here it goes.
Okay, I'm
Are
gonna
you
get out of the
ready?
way, and then I'll ask you a question.
Catch your bubbles.
I'm joy. This is sadness. That's anger. This is disgust. And that's fear. We're Riley's emotions.
I've seen Inside Out too. Joy.
Nobody's saying anything yet. She looks happy. She was happy and then she got carried away.
It's like Rocket Mouse. I'm sadness.
She looks like sadness.
She is sadness. She's all like this.
She looks kind of funny when she cries, but it's not funny when somebody's sad. It is funny when she cries. These kids already know. Oh, wow. What is she?
Disgust.
She's so through.
Uh-oh.
Fear.
Fear. He's scared. He makes it look so funny, but it's really scary. Come back so you're here when we're ready. Okay.
Why'd you have to do that?
Well, let's be
Because
the
now I'm going to
listeners.
ask you a question. Mrs. Boone, when you ask a question, how do you expect the kids to answer?
So we raise our hand
Okay,
with a bubble on our lip and
Okay.
need to be called on
okay,
by the
okay.
teacher.
Then I'll follow that. Okay, I'll follow
Okay.
that since that's what you expect here. Here's my question. What was that movie about? It was only 2 minutes long. You've seen the whole thing, I predict. But what was it about? So a lot of kids are doing exactly what's expected. Exactly what's expected. What was
Mrs.
it
Green,
about?
Mrs. Green,
Oh, I'm
Mrs.
not
Green.
calling. I'm not calling
Mrs.
Mrs.
Green.
I'm not calling Mrs. Boone because she's making such loud noise. I know she's so excited. Oh wait, not yet, not yet, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. She's practicing. So what was the movie about? Who's ready?
Fire!
Wait a minute, we're not all ready. Lily, we're waiting for you. There she is. Okay, what was it about? That was one of them. What was it about? Wait a minute, we're not all ready. We're still not all ready.
Mrs. Green, are you ready?
Yeah. What was it about? One of them was sadness, but what was the whole thing about? Blue? Anger was another one. Yep, one was sadness, one was anger. What was the whole thing about? Yes?
About feelings.
Boom. He's absolutely right. The whole thing was about feelings. Some people call them emotions. Stand up if you have ever had an emotion and stand up and freeze. And freeze. Are you frozen? One person is not. Everybody frozen? You've never had a feeling? Never? Of any kind? You've never been happy or calm or okay? The answer is you have, because we all have them. We all have them. That's part of being human. Okay, now. Sit down. Whoops, whoops. We're still standing. We're still standing. We're still standing. Everybody's up. Everybody's up because we all have feelings. Everybody's standing up. Everybody's standing up. All right, now. Careful, you're frozen. Sit down if you've ever had this feeling, the green feeling. Happy, okay, calm. If you've ever felt happy, okay, calm, sit down. If you've ever felt that way ever in your life, everybody should be sitting down because everybody has all of these feelings. Okay, ready? Stand up and freeze if you've ever had a red feeling. Angry. Angry, out of control. We've all had it. Me too.
Except me.
We've all, everybody has. It's part of being human. Part of being human.
Lily, you had.
Stand up, Lily. Stand up, Blue.
Okay, I like
Okay, there we go. Now, sit down if you've ever had a yellow silly feeling. Silly. But don't show it. Last one. Me too. Last one. Stand up if you've ever had a sad feeling. Sit back down and hold up 2 fists because we're going to make a brain. Make the brain right now. It's right there. That's your brain.
Like this.
And your brain has 2 parts. Your brain has a thinking part,
Yep.
and your brain has a feelings part. Which part needs to be the boss if you're at school? The feelings part? If you're at school, you got the thinking part and the feelings part. Who needs to be the boss if you're at school? Thinking brain needs to be the boss at school. How come? What if feelings brain is the boss, buddy? What if feelings brain is the boss at school? What happens, Lily, if feelings brain is the boss?
Everyone thinks that and go,
Right. And then what happens to thinking brain?
it gets destroyed.
It doesn't get destroyed, it just gets interrupted. It gets covered up. And it can't think. It cannot think. Now, I'm going to show you how this looks. So take your body and turn your whole body around so your eyes are looking that way, because that's where the play is going to be. And then freeze in your spot. You there? Okay, Mrs. Boone, you ready? Mrs. Lalonde, you ready? Ready. Okay, here we go. Let's be right here. Can you see if we're right here, Mrs. Hope? Okay. Pretend. Pretend. Okay, you guys need to be on your bottoms because others won't be able to see. Do you need to move to a different spot so you can see better? Yeah. Why don't you scoot back by this other guy, I don't know names yet, by this other guy in a blue shirt because then you'll have a better view. And yellow, Minion, why don't you sit right next to Lily, right there. And you, that's Pokemon, Pikachu. Yes, he's not a minion. Can you see, Lenny? Okay, here we go. So we're pretending this is a kindergarten classroom. Miss Katie is sitting down because she's one of the kids in the class. Miss Heidi is one of the kids in the class, and I'm going to be the teacher. Okay, now, here's what happens if feelings brain is the boss. Here's what happens, and you have seen this before, I bet. I'm pretending I'm the teacher. You ready? Good morning, kindergartners. Today in kindergarten, we are talking about pets. Is there anybody in this room who has a pet?
Mrs. Green. Mrs. Green.
Miss Katie,
Mrs.
do you
Green.
have a pet?
Mrs. Green.
Do you have a pet?
Oh!
I have a dog.
Why didn't you call on me? Oh!
Okay, stop. Okay, stop. What just happened? Raise your hand if you know, because that's what we expect in kindergarten. What just happened?
She just got mad.
Don't shout out. What just happened?
I got angry.
Her angry brain became the boss. What happened to her thinking brain? It got covered up. She wasn't thinking at all. And what happened to poor Miss Katie?
Act good. Raise your hand.
She was trying to answer the question about pets, but thinking brain, feelings brain boss over there was making so much noise. Now, it happens. It happens to everybody sometimes.
Like what?
Although I must say, some kids have taught their thinking brain. Some kids have already taught their thinking brain to be the boss at school. Some kids have. Some kids are still learning that. Miss Heidi was still learning that, so she got angry. She wanted a turn. She wanted to tell. And she got angry when it wasn't her turn.
She doesn't really have a pet.
And then her feelings brain was the boss, and everything went crazy. Okay, ready? Close your eyes. Round 2. Here's what happens if another feeling is the boss. Open your eyes. Good morning, kindergarten. Today we're talking about birthdays. What is your favorite thing to do for a birthday party?
Mrs. Green. Mrs. Green. Mrs. Green.
Favorite thing to do for a birthday party? Of course, I'm not picking her because she's shouting out, and that's not fair. That's not what I expect as a teacher for a student to do. So I'm going to call Miss Katie. What's your favorite thing to do for a birthday party, Miss Katie? What just happened? Stand up if you know. Make sure you're not interrupting anybody. What just happened, Lily?
She was crying because you didn't answer, and then
That's enough. Stop right there. That's a perfect answer, Lily said. She was crying because she didn't get picked. Her feelings brain covered up her thinking brain.
again.
She hasn't learned yet how to make her thinking brain the boss.
Like really boss.
And then what?
Then she can't think.
Then she can't think. And neither can Miss Katie think. Miss Katie was trying to answer the question. Okay, everybody down. Close your eyes. Round 3. Here's a yellow feeling this time. The first one was a red angry. The second one was a blue sad. This time we're going to look at if a yellow feeling is the boss.
Okay.
Ready? Round 3. Good morning, kindergarten students. Today we're going to talk about holidays.
Oh,
And everybody has a favorite holiday. Which one? Which holidays do you like? Raise your hand if you know.
Christmas.
Who has a favorite holiday?
Christmas is the best. I love Christmas. Oh yeah, Christmas is the best.
When people are silly, everybody's laughing. Everybody's laughing. And she might think, hey, that's fun. All my friends are laughing. But what's wrong? What's wrong with that? She's interrupting. Who's the boss in this one, guys? Is it her thinking brain or her yellow feelings brain? Was her thinking brain the boss? It was. She didn't sound like she was thinking. She sounded like she was being silly.
Like really silly.
Really silly. So silly her thinker couldn't think.
Can I tell her secret?
Not yet. Not yet.
The brain.
So that's what just happened. Now, right now, these two have their thinking brains turned on. Their feelings brain is okay. So let's see what happens this time. Let's try it with green brain turned on. Thinking brain is the boss. Boys and girls, today in kindergarten, we're going to talk about the alphabet. Can anybody say the whole alphabet from the beginning to the end? Miss Heidi?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Nicely done. Wow. And her friend is proud too. Her friend is proud too.
I whispered and I told you to raise your hand.
Thinking brain was boss. Okay, now, you have a seat. Can you see? Yep, he's right back there, but he can see. In your class, if you look behind you, you're going to see on the wall, there are 5 posters about what your teacher expects. And there are some kids in this room who made those posters. A boy named Brody, a boy named Jack, and a girl named Lily made those posters. So Brody, Jack, and Lily are the ones that have kind of set up what is expected in kindergarten.
Good listening.
And one of them is what? Say it again, Lily.
Good listening.
Good listening. One thing is that you're expected to listen. What about when you're at your table and there's kids real close to you? What do we expect?
Be good.
Hands to yourselves. Hands to yourselves. Yep. What if you have a little bit of a problem while you're in class? What do we expect? What if you have a tiny problem like, oh my gosh, my chair is too close. It's a kind of a tiny problem, but it is a problem. It's a real one. My chair's too close. This is bugging me.
Then you push it out a little bit.
Or you could use an iMessage. Hey, it makes me uncomfortable when somebody's so close. Would you mind just scooting a little bit? Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about things the teacher expects, but even more, we're talking about feelings and thinking brain and who's the boss. So here's my last thing to tell you. A lot of kids noticed today when they walked in this room, there's something new in this room. It's on the floor over there. They are
Feeling cards.
feeling cards. And they're all 4 of them.
Yeah.
There's the angry brain.
I will get it.
There's the sad brain. There's the silly brain. And there's the okay brain. Doesn't have to be happy, just okay.
Like really happy.
Just calm. Doesn't have to be really happy.
It's the scared brain.
Yeah, scared is yellow, Lily. Thank you for saying that. Yellow is scared too.
And I'm really scared of spiders.
Yup. And that can really and then when that happens, when she gets real scared of spiders, that can become the boss of her thinking brain, right? Yeah, you showed that. Here's why these are on the floor in your room. If Mrs. Boone sees that your angry brain is the boss and it's in your way, she might say, hey, it looks like your angry brain is the boss right now. Go get yourself back. Go turn your thinking brain back on. She might say, go over and sit on angry brain for a minute and give yourself a minute. Give yourself a minute to just calm down a little bit. Some kids like to close their eyes. That's what I like to do. I actually like to close my eyes and count to 10.
I like to
Because then my thinking brain can get back on top. And then maybe you'll move over to the green card to say, Mrs. Boone, I'm ready. I'm ready. And she'll say, oh, come on back. It's kind of a nice tool over here. Again, some kids have already figured out how to get their thinker on the top at school all the time. Some people have not. It takes a long time for people to learn that. So we've got a way that you can get your thinking brain back on the top. And save your feelings brain for times when you're not doing so much thinking. Yeah. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. We've got a plan.
I like this one. Yes, we do.
Falling asleep would be blue. That would be a blue brain. Falling asleep tired is blue. That goes with sad. That goes with sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mrs. Green. I am ready to start the day with a green day. Thank you so
And
much.
hey, wait a minute. I forgot something. If you're sitting on this red one over here, is that bad? Does that mean you've been bad? Is this a bad day? No, it just means your feelings turned into the boss of you. And you want to be your own thinking boss. It's not bad to have feelings. Everybody has them.
Silly.
Yes, the silly one really interrupts, doesn't it? The silly one really interrupts.
Fantastic. All right,
Save
boys and
it.
girls,
Save
what do we
silly.
say to Mrs. Green
Okay.
for coming in today?